it's Alex with alextucker.ca, and today I'm going to tell you the 3 simple steps to start your first blog. Now, I'm not going to walk you every step of the way through this process. I'm going to assume that you are a little bit like me and you kind of like to figure things out yourself, but I am going to tell you the major points, and I'm going to include some additional resources. So there's 3 simple steps that you need to take, and for each of those steps, there's going to be a video linked in the description of this video, as well as some additional resources that you can access. So before we get started, give me a like, hit the subscribe button, and let me know with a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. All right, so the first step in creating your first blog is going to be to choose a niche and create content within it. So to me, the best way to choose a niche is always to go with something that you're passionate about, but that's not necessarily a completely necessary component of choosing a niche. You can also just base it strictly on what you find to be the most available. And if you're planning on getting your traffic from SEO, which I do recommend because it's a really effective means to getting sustainable traffic, then you're going to want to research your niche ahead of time so that you know how much competition there is in it and which keywords and topics you're going to be able to target in order to get that traffic. But the way that you can start out researching a niche is basically you need to figure out whether it's an area of life that people spend money in. And there's a few ways that you can do this. The way that I've always done it is by looking at Amazon bestsellers and Reddit and Quora and Facebook groups, and just seeing what people are talking about, what people are buying, and what people are in need of. And another way that I just heard of recently, which I can't believe I didn't think of myself, is you can go to, I can't remember the name of the website exactly, but it's the Books for Dummies, those guides, and those are basically, all of those are like niche guides to different activities or professions or hobbies that people will pay money to learn about. So that's how you can select a niche. And then once you've kind of got that drilled down, you're going to need to start creating content in that niche. And I mean, I could tell you if I was just focused on kind of affiliate marketing and trying to make money here, then I would probably tell you, okay, go and get your web hosting, get your domain, and get all that set up first. But that's kind of like putting the cart before the horse. I can't even count how many people I know who have gotten a website set up and then have never created any content for it. And it's just such a waste of time and money. So you want to find your niche, and then you want to create some content for it. You want to make sure that you have your homepage content written. You want to make sure that you have a contact page and an about page content written. And you want to make sure that you have, like, I would say at least a half dozen blog posts written. And they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be long. They don't have to be SEO optimized. They don't have to be amazing. They just have to be. You have to have something to put up there so that once your website is up and running, it's not just an empty WordPress installation. You want to have something there immediately that you can post and that you can share with others so that you actually start getting traffic and generating interest in your site. And that way you're actually going to have some momentum. You can get going and you can post one post. If you have, say, half a dozen posts, you can put up one a day for a week. You can put up one a week for a month and a half or 2 months, depending on how many you have. And, that's just a really good way to build momentum while you start creating additional content and sharing your posts and marketing your blog. So that is step number 1 for starting a blog, is basically picking a niche and creating content in it. So I kind of lumped 2 or 3 things together there. I realized that, but I just wanted to kind of move through that quickly. So I'm the resource that I have for you here is a video I created on how to create content consistently, and it doesn't focus on creating perfect content or creating quote unquote high quality content. It's just about creating something, getting something down, getting video done, getting something written, whatever kind of content it is that you're creating. So check that out. It's linked in the description. Now, the second step to start your first blog is to get a domain and get some web hosting. Now, if you have a really specific brand idea or a really good idea for your domain name, you might want to get your domain name first, and you might grab your web hosting at the same time. It's okay if you want to do that first, but I would recommend creating your content before you actually set the website up, because otherwise, like I said, you're just going to have an empty installation of WordPress. But when you're ready to get your domain and get your web hosting, I really recommend going with Web Hosting Canada. They're the company that I host my website with, and I'm looking at starting a second or possibly even a third blog that I'm going to also host with them. And they have really great hosting. They have web hosting, they have managed WordPress, they have servers that you can lease. So Web Hosting Canada is a great web host, especially for Canadians, but really for anyone in North America. And you can use Cloudflare with them. You can use all your WordPress tools, and it's going to be a really good resource for you. So the link to that is in the description as well. When you're ready and you have some content, then it's time to get yourself a domain and get some web hosting. I recommend either getting their Pro web hosting plan to start or getting their Pro managed WordPress plan to start. Either one of those are going to make it pretty easy to install WordPress and get up and running. And actually, if you go with the managed WordPress, they'll install WordPress and kind of get the site set up for you, and then you just need to customize and build it out. Whereas if you get the web hosting, then you're going to need to install WordPress yourself. And that is the third step in how to start your first blog, is to install WordPress and post your content on your website. So again, it's much more important to have content on your website than it is to have like a perfect website. So I recommend that you get WordPress installed, and I have a video included in the description in a link that you can go and check out. It's a very thorough tutorial of how to install WordPress. So I didn't make it on Web Hosting Canada hosting, but I made it on cPanel hosting, and their hosting is also cPanel. So it's the exact process that you would need to follow in order to install WordPress there and get your blog going. Once you do that, you want to create pages for your homepage and your about page and your contact page and any other pages that you need. Privacy policy, that's important. And you want to create posts for your blog content. And I'm going to create more WordPress related videos, and there's tons of WordPress content out there on the web if you need to learn more about that. So again, that is 3 simple steps to start your first blog. If you have any questions or anything that you need additional help with, leave me a comment and let me know. And again, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.